to Tall Girl Tuesday podcast. It's your girl, Danie. And on this week's episode, I did want to go ahead and discuss all of this slander and backlash that our auntie, Jada Pinkett-Smith, has been receiving over her interview on the Red Table Talk, where she was discussing her sex life with her husband, Will. Now, I've been noticing that most of the men are the ones who seem to have an issue with what she said and kind of like bashing her. And I'm not really understanding exactly why, because it seems like she's coming from a place of accountability and from being transparent about her issues that she's having. But let's just go ahead and take a listen real quick.
I know. I'm sure. I mean, the thing that Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age, 22 years old. I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex. Right. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me,
you should be able to read
you
my
should
mind.
Read my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge pitfall.
That's a huge pitfall.
Yeah, it is.
Jada says she's grown out of that mindset, but it can still be uncomfortable for her to express what she wants.
Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same.
And do you?
I really try.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable,
Very.
but it's deeply healthy.
So that's the statement that she made, where I feel like everybody seems to be outraged, especially the men. And I don't understand why she's getting dragged for saying that if her husband loves her, he should know what she likes. Now, granted, they have been together for 25 years. So I cannot say that I disagree with the logic behind what she's saying, because if you spent so much time with a person, they know what you like and don't like, right? I mean, maybe I'm tripping, but even in my relationship, I'll say, my partner tried to change it up and do something a little bit different, and I was struggling to get to the max. If you know what the max means, you know what the max is. And then I guess something registered, like, okay, this is not really working. It was definitely something new. And then we went back to, he went back to what he knows is going to get me where I need to get. And within a couple minutes, I was at the max. So we had a conversation about it a little bit after, and he was like, I was just trying to do a little something more, trying to do something a little different. And I'm like, I enjoyed it very much, but I enjoyed it very much. However, that's something new to me, so it's not going to get me where I need to get right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work that way. But I'm only making that comment to say, like, he loves me and he knows what I like. So I don't really see the difference in what she was saying as it relates to what I was saying, or what my experience was in a situation like that. And she did say that mindset, she has a growth mindset in terms of that logic, not necessarily thinking that her husband should know what he likes solely based off of the fact that he loves her. And I can see the pros and cons to a statement like that. But men seem to be very upset and annoyed, and it's like, as a woman, I understand why she said that. Now, I'm not married. I'm not with my person for 25 years. But I understand why she would feel that if this person loves me and is with me and is committed to me, and we have these intimate moments together, he should know what I like and dislike. But at the same time, you can't always just assume that people, I would say this, people change and their needs and wants change as well. So I guess I could kind of see both parts of it, but I just don't understand why was it so offensive to men. And I see the meme saying, God send me a wife, but not the one that Will has. And I'm like, what did she say that was so bad? It seems like she's coming from a place of accountability for her ignorance and her, logic behind the situation. She never once put anything on her husband and said, and pointed the finger at him in terms of him doing something wrong. She's just in her mind like, I feel like because he loves me, he should know. I don't know. I feel like she took accountability for that. And it's just, I'm not understanding why everybody's in such an uproar about what she said. And I can relate to that because sometimes I'll be trying different moves, like something as simple as a lift of a leg when it's normally not lifted that way. And my guy don't be with it. He's like, no, I don't know where that came from, but no. And so sometimes I think to myself, like, what happens in year 3 if and when it starts to feel repetitive? How do we proceed if, the other party is not necessarily open or being receptive to, if the person is not being receptive to doing different things and trying new tricks? So, I don't know. I guess, of course, everybody's relationship and the way they communicate with their partners is different. But she did state that it's uncomfortable for her to express what she wants. Now, that's the part where I'm like, okay, Auntie Jada, you lost me on that one because you've been with this man for 24 years or married at least 24 years and you're still uncomfortable with talking to him about the things that you want. And that's where I'm like, there's a disconnect somewhere, maybe. I kind of wish he could have been on the episode or, there was like some feedback from him based off of what was said on that episode, because again, I'm not comparing anything there. I don't even have a leg to stand on in terms of longevity of a relationship. However, I can say that I am someone who is open and free about communicating the things that I like and don't like sexually from the beginning. That's something that I'm usually bringing up first, even before the guy, because I just want to make sure that we are on the same page or even willing to be on each other's level sexually. Like, I have to make sure we are sexually compatible if I plan on being committed to you. So I can't imagine 24 years passing and me being uncomfortable with telling my partner what I like and dislike. So that's the part that's kind of confusing to me. I'm like, is it a contradiction? I'm sure you guys will let me know, but I'm having a hard time with the latter part of the conversation where she says she's uncomfortable. But again, she's basically making that whole conversation was about her, and she wasn't necessarily saying that he's not open or he's not willing to explore different things or doesn't take the criticism well. She's just more like, for me, it's uncomfortable. And I don't know. Y'all, I'm struggling with that part because if I'm with you, I like to have the lines of communication open, especially in the bedroom and when it comes to sexuality and the do's and don'ts, because sex is very important to me. I'm sure it is in most relationships, but that's one area where I don't want to be uncomfortable. Not saying that it takes precedent over others, but that's one area where I want to be free and I want my partner to be free and for us to have an understanding. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Did you listen to the episode? I'm definitely looking for some feedback. Make sure you guys are in the comments running it up and letting me know, like, what were your thoughts on what she said? Can you relate to her, or are you trying to drag me next for saying what I said regarding the whole situation? I mean, I guess it all depends on how, your interpretation of what she said. Like I said, for me, the beginning part, I kind of understood, but the latter part where she says she's uncomfortable with expressing what she wants, that's the part that's throwing me off, because sis, y'all been together forever. Like, what's the problem? What is there to be uncomfortable about? You need to be more, I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I will talk to you next week.